Chapter 17. Page 212. Robert turned to the Bible for consolation. Read every chapter of the Song of Solomon. Was very much impressed with chapter 2:14. O my dove, that art in the clefts of the rock, in the secret places of the stairs, let me see thy countenance, let me hear thy voice, for sweet is thy voice and thy countenance is comely. Robert longed to hear Marie's voice and prayed that she might come forth from her secret hiding place. He read chapter 8, 6th and 7th verses. Set me as a seal upon thine heart, as a seal upon thine arm, for love is strong as death. Jealousy is cruel as the grave, the coals thereof are coals of fire, which have a most vehement flame. Many waters cannot quench love, neither can the floods drown it. If a man would give all the substance of his house for love, he would utterly be condemned. Robert realized that nothing could quench his love and that Marie was the only remedy for his aching heart. Turning to Daniel 9:21, he read, Yea, while I was speaking in prayer, even the man Gabriel whom I had seen in the vision at the beginning being caused to fly swiftly, touched me about the time of the evening oblation. Robert knew that this indicated that people did fly in the older days, and that we were now only repeating past cycles. He read chapter 12 4th verse, Let thou, Daniel, shut up the words, and seal the book even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. Robert thought that we were now nearing the time of the end because man was running to and fro in fast automobiles and traveling swiftly through the air in airplanes. That new discoveries were being made and that knowledge was increasing. He must hasten his new invention. He read the 12th verse, Blessed is he that waiteth, and cometh to the 1305 and 30 days. Robert believed that he understood the cycle and knew the number of years, months and days referred to in Daniel's prophecies. Calculated that from March, 1931, until the end of June, 1932, would be troublesome times for the United States. Depression, war and panic would hang over the destinies of his country. Robert had gone deeply into the Bible study in order to learn more about the great science of astrology. From the Bible he interpreted that he belonged to the tribe of Issachar, the fifth son of Jacob, and that this name indicated price, reward, recompense. He understood from this that he would have to pay the price, but he would receive the reward for his faithfulness and devotion to Marie. Robert turned to Genesis, chapter 30, 17th and 18th verses. And God hearkened unto Leah, and she conceived and bore Jacob, the fifth son. And Leah said, God hath given me my hire, because I have given my maiden to my husband. And she called his name Issachar. He read Genesis 49, 14 and 15, where Jacob blessed his 12 sons. Issachar is a strong ass, couching down between two burdens, and he saw that the rest was good in the land, that it was pleasant. And bowed his shoulders to bear, and became a servant unto tribute. Robert knew that this was the description of a man born in June under the sign Gemini, and that he was born to bear a burden, that he must serve his people and be a comfort and help to carry their burdens. That the sign under which he was born was a double-bodied sign, known as the sign of the twins, that things would repeat in his life, that he would have many ups and downs, but that he would reach his reward through science. He was anxious to learn of Marie's characteristics from the Bible and through astrology, and found that she was born under the sign Libra, the sign of the balance, ruled by the goddess of love Venus, which endowed her with her great beauty. Reading Genesis 29:32, he found that Marie belonged to the tribe of Reuben, and Leah conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben. For she said, Surely the Lord hath looked upon my affliction. Now therefore my husband will love me. The symbol and meaning of this name is one who sees the sun, the vision of the sun, and indicates great intuition, keen perception and power of foresight. Genesis 49:3 and 4. Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity, and the excellency of power. Unstable as water, thou shalt not excel. Robert understood that this referred to Marie's character and disposition. She was unstable, changeable and moody. But he felt that her love was fixed, and that eventually she would return to him. He read all the books he could get on astrology. And began to understand why things had happened as they had. It made him a better philosopher, and helped him to bear his sorrows with greater patience. Robert continued reading Isaiah 45:13. I have raised him up in righteousness, and I will direct all his ways. He shall build my city, and he shall let go my captives. Not for price, nor reward, saith the Lord of hosts. This probably meant that the time would come when the Lord would direct man, and that when wars came and prisoners were made captives, they would be set free without price or reward. It was Robert's idea that this was the way it should be when love ruled the world. Robert read Hebrews 11:3 and 5. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of God, so that the things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. By faith Enoch was translated that he should not see death. And was not found, because God had translated him. For before his translation he had this testimony that he had pleased God. Robert believed that Enoch went away in an airplane, and knew that faith was the great sustaining force. And that without faith it was impossible to please God. For he read where it says, "For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him." Robert knew that he had faith and that faith would sustain him during the time of trials and troubles. In Romans 12:2. "And be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God." Robert knew and understood how to renew his mind and body because he knew what Jesus meant when he said, "Destroy this temple and in 3 days I will build it up again." He knew that it referred to the temple of the human body. Robert read the 9th to 13th verses of the same chapter. "Let love be without dissimulation. Abhor that which is evil. Cleave to that which is good. Be kindly affection one to another with brotherly love, in honor preferring one another. Not slothful in business, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord, rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer." Robert intended to be patient in tribulations and was going to be kind and show brotherly love. He would have faith, hope and pray for the day when he would again have Marie. Love was the fulfilling of the law and reward was promised for obedience to that law. The more he read the Bible, the more he was convinced of its great value, and that all of the knowledge and instruction that man needed for any purpose or at any time, was to be found in that good old book. Robert decided that he would not only pray without ceasing, but would spend some of the money that he had made, to try to find Marie as no word had ever been received of her up to this time. He employed a detective agency to make a search all over the United States. Mr. Kenilworth left New York and returned to Texarkana in the latter part of June 1927. He bought cotton heavily on Robert's advice that the government report would be very bullish and would have a big advance during July according to Robert's forecast earlier in the year. The government report on July 9 showed a big decrease in acreage and prices started to advance again. Robert wrote and telegraphed Mr. Kenilworth that October cotton would advance to around 1850 to 1875 before there was any important reaction. On July 16 October cotton crossed 1850. And Mr. Kenilworth wired Robert as follows. July 16, 1927. Robert Gordon. 69 Wall Street, New York City. Congratulations, your forecasts are wonderful. Have over $200,000 profit in cotton. As soon as you get time, work up your cycle on presidential elections. And write me what the outlook is for 1928. J. H. Kenilworth. To which Robert replied. July 16, 1927. My dear Mr. Kenilworth. Your telegram just received. Am very happy that you have played the cotton market heavily and are making big profits. I, too, have made over $100,000. We'll get busy in a few days and work out the cycles for 1928. And let you know what the outlook is as to who will be elected president. Walter and I are getting along nicely. I am making good progress on my plans for the airship. Have employed a detective agency to search all over the United States for Marie. I am patiently awaiting news of her. Believe she is still alive. Thanks for your good wishes. With kindest regards. I am sincerely yours, Robert Gordon.